a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Well, howdy there, neighbors. So glad that you could join us today. I'm Mr. Hewitt, and welcome to my neighborhood. We've got a lot of fun things in store for you today. Well, it looks like we got one of them here now. Hello there, neighbor. Well, of course you can come on by. We've got some of our friends here right now. All right, we'll see you soon. Sounds like we got a friend coming over. Let's go see him. Well, it looks like our friend Mr. Wigglesby's here. How about we invite him in? Well, hello there, Mr. Wigglesby. How about you come on in and talk to me and my friends? Well, hello there today, Mr. Wigglesby. How are you doing? Now, tell me, how is your new neighbor that just moved in? Now, Mr. Wigglesby, we can't be talking about our neighbors like that. Well, even if he does frustrate you, you know, you gotta be a good neighbor. That's the type of course, that's the type of neighbor we want to teach our friends to be too. Well, even if he does do that, you gotta love your neighbor. Yeah, love him. Mm-hmm. You think you can do that? I know you can. It might be rough sometimes, but you gotta love that neighbor. Well, I'm so glad that you joined us today, Mr. Wigglesby. Friends, let's say goodbye to Mr. Wigglesby as he goes home. And we'll be back in just one moment.
Have you recently played Minecraft with Real Church Gaming? Have you recently acquired iron ore that was not yours? You may be entitled to some major problems the next time you play with Pastor Norm.
Dad, are you still upset?
Why did somebody take my iron ore? I don't understand why. Come on, man. I mean, don't they know? Look, you need to do this. Be nice to people for no reason, okay? Please stop taking my iron ore.
Well, hello everyone. We are back with our reaction game. Get ready for those thumbs up, those thumbs down. So we've got Pastor Norm here today.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He did not watch last week, so I'm having to tell him.
Yes, I did. I saw an Anna. I just was...
Whatever. Okay, so of course you all know last week we started with the amazing businessman that is Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. And so this week I thought it'd be appropriate that we start again with him. So let's go ahead and watch this first video.
Jimmy Turner, my name is Doug Dimmadale, Dimmadale, Doug Dimmadome, Jimmy Turner, my name is Doug Dimmadale,
Okay. That's weird. All right. Doug yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
That's just dumb. That is so dumb.
All right, a
Oh my
downvote.
gosh.
He does not understand. It's okay.
Dun dibba-dun, dibba-dun. Okay, whatever.
So this next video was sent to me by someone don't know who because the name did not pop up in my phone.
Okay, you got to be careful.
I don't know if this was meant for the show, but it was definitely something I had to put in the show.
Okay,
So
all right, here we go.
Let's watch this.
Shoot board to shoot red dark ding ding kamad teding moch wak vet to took edge pak vam bit took chir khicho edge shostish bing da khicho khide rav da khof bing da chir vat khit pep da kok you edge midjudge will bo you bot tak mo mash chish da khicho
All right.
You need to put a guard at what you get. I at least know what it is.
And what is it? Can you explain for
It's
the people?
Klingon. It's Klingon singing because she had the Klingon forehead. At least I know that. And I actually am somewhat of a Trekkie, but that is seriously disturbing. Oh my gosh. First of all, for somebody to learn the Klingon language, and that's like going way beyond. So, yeah, no way. It's like you got way too much time on your hands. You do something like that.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Next video. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Everyone get ready with your reactions.
Okay. Okay. Good job.
Thumbs up. All right.
Teamwork, baby. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Come on.
Here we go. The next video.
Okay, the first clue is that it is something to eat. No, it's not a cookie. Okay, the second clue is that it is something round. No, it's not a cookie. Third clue, the color of this thing is orange. No, it is not a cookie. No, it's not a cookie. What? How can you give up? It's something to eat that's round and orange. It's an orange. It's an orange. Of course it's an orange. I just told you it was an orange. No, you don't get a cookie.
Love it. 2 thumbs up. That was awesome. I love Sesame Street.
I know.
Anything with Muppets.
All right.
It's going to win. It's going to win. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for doing that. I know you did that for me because I love Muppets.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Ready for the next video?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
wow. ASDGFJ.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
I have no idea what that means. Okay.
So this next video was sent in by Abby.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Abby, this video is for you.
On me.
Hello? Hey, what's up? I need your help. Can you come here? I can't. I'm buying clothes. All right, well, hurry up and come over here. I can't find them. What do you mean you can't find them? I can't find them. There's only soup. What do you mean there's only soup? It means there's only soup. Well, then get out of the soup aisle! All right, you don't have to shout at me. There's more soup. What do you mean there's more soup? There's just more soup. Go into the next aisle. There's still soup. Where are you right now? I'm at soup. What do you mean you're at soup? I mean I'm at soup. What store are you in? I'm at the soup store. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
I feel like that at times. Why? Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? 2 thumbs up. Is it still recording?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
All right, here we go. This is our last video. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Stephanie, I am very disappointed in you. How could you do this? You could have been hurt. You could have hurt someone else. What you did today is the stupidest thing you've ever done.
So what did you think of that?
That is sad. That's a really sad show. I wouldn't watch it.
That's a thumb down.
Thumbs down. I don't like to watch shows that are sad. They bother me.
Yeah.
I like happy shows.
All right. So I want to thank our guest for being here today. You know, it's been a all right time. I really thought that it'd be, you know, more entertaining, more funny. I just don't think you did a good job.
You know, boys and girls, we need to start every day with a good full breakfast so we can be a good neighbor to all our friends. What is that, Mr. Tigglesby? Did you just say it's Lindy's 16th birthday? Wow! Well, happy birthday, Lindy. You want to sing happy birthday to her? Well, let's go ahead and do that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lindy. Happy birthday to you. Are you all right there?
Is it running? Okay. Hey guys, it's Pastor Norm. Since we've been kind of playing off the Mr. Rogers neighborhood, I wanted to talk to you tonight about 7 ways to love your neighbors. What is going on? I thought Liz was about to let out the dog. Sorry.
Watch your ums.
Hey guys, it's Pastor Norm. Tonight, I want to talk about the 7 ways to love your neighbors. So, Matthew, God bless. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, just relax, just do the thing. Turn to the 2nd page. I'm going to start on the 2nd page there. And then, okay. Hey guys, Pastor Norm. Since we kind of been playing a spoof on Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hey, I want to talk about loving your neighbor. You know, Matthew 12:31 says, love your neighbor as yourself. It's one of the most quoted verses in the Bible. And I want to talk about what it really is to love your neighbor. Because you may say, oh yeah, it's easy to love my neighbor. Maybe it's easy for you to love someone that's not right there near you. Maybe it's easy to love the person that's hurting down the street or around the world. Maybe it's like, oh, I can send money to an orphan in Africa, or I can do something like that. And yet, maybe you have problems loving your brother or sister or your friends. Sometimes it's easy for us to love and really care about the people that are close around us, or maybe it's easy for us to love people who are like us, but people who are different from us, sometimes they get underneath our skin, don't they? Those are the people that kind of bother us and get us angry, get us frustrated. And it's like, love my neighbor, I don't want to do that, you know? but we're called to love our neighbor as ourselves. But if you don't love yourself and you don't know how to take care of yourself, it's going to be hard for you to love your neighbor. If you hate yourself and put yourself down, you're more than likely going to not love others and put them down as well. So what do we need to do to truly love our neighbor? I don't want to take a lot of time tonight, but I want to give you some very specific and yet I really believe practical things that will help you to truly love your neighbor. The first thing is to see your neighbor for who they really are. You just go, well, Pastor, that's dumb. I can see my neighbor anytime I get around them. But it's more than just seeing them with your physical eyes. I'm talking about seeing your neighbor in such a way that it causes you to recognize what they're really thinking. It causes you to listen to what's really going on in their lives and to truly connect to where they're living. You may think you know somebody and you don't really know them at all. So the very first thing to truly loving our neighbors, we've got to really see them. See them for where they're at, where they're living, what they're going through. Number two is we need to ask for forgiveness and offer it. You go, well, what if I haven't done anything wrong? Well, ask the Lord right now, have I been truly, really being a neighbor to my neighbors? You know, Jesus was asked that one time by a Jewish lawyer. He said, Lord, who is my neighbor? And Jesus told the story of the Good Samaritan. And when he told that story, the reason he used the Samaritan is because all the Jews actually looked down on the Samaritan. They didn't want to acknowledge that even though there was a priest and there was a scribe that came along, they didn't want to acknowledge that the Good Samaritan was actually the one that was the best neighbor. You see, we need to offer forgiveness. Maybe you know of somebody right now as I'm talking. You go, yeah, we've kind of split up. We don't talk anymore. We're ticked off at each other. You know, we used to be friends. Well, maybe you need to offer forgiveness to them. Maybe you need to ask for forgiveness and say, hey, will you forgive me for the words that I said? If we truly want to be neighbors to someone, it might require something like that of us. Now, number three is one that right now all of you can do, and it's praying for your neighbors. You go, come on, Pastor, don't give me a spiritual thing, but this is so important. Right now, you can do something for somebody that's on the other side of the world. You can pray for them. And when I say pray for them, just, Lord, bless Tommy or bless Susan. I'm not talking about that. Really pray for them. Really offer a heart prayer for what they're going through. Find out what they're dealing with. You know, I've got friends in different parts of the country that are going through different things right now with this virus, and yet I can lift them up right here in Alabama, and I can reach around the world. I can lift them up in prayer. So pray for somebody. That's a big one. Number four is rejoice and mourn with them. Now, that means really be there for them. That means when they're ready to celebrate, Be someone they can celebrate with. Hang out with them. Listen to what they're happy about. Listen to what they're excited about. But also be there when they're going through a tough time. That's truly loving your neighbor. If it's just we're fair weather friends, that's not being a true neighbor. Fair weather friends are like, hey, I'm good when you're good, but when you're bad, don't call me. No, be there for them. Really take time to listen to what they're going through. Offer a shoulder to cry on. Offer an ear to listen. Let them talk to you. And I love that I get to celebrate and to be there for people that are struggling. It's one of my gifts, and so this is one of the ways it's easy for me to truly love my neighbor. Now, the next thing is, number 5, be teachable. You go, what do you mean by be teachable? Well, if we're truly going to connect with some people that are different from us, we may need to learn how to talk their language. So that means be teachable. Be teachable is where we try to understand where they're coming from and listen and maybe even learn something from them, because if there's someone that's really different from us, they may know something, they may be wired different, and they can teach us something that will help us become a better person to love our neighbors, and when you learn how to relate to them. Like if you're a jock and you're relating to a geek, it may come down to this thing of you're sitting down and they're teaching you something that you didn't even know you could do on your computer. And then you can actually turn around and show them how they can, maybe play a sport better. Whatever it is, that you're there for them and you're being teachable. But if you come in there like you got it all together and you don't need anything from them and you're not willing to learn anything from them, what you do is you shut the door in their face and you go, hey, but I'm going to love you. Well, actually, you're not loving them at all. Unless you're willing to let somebody in and be willing to listen and learn from them. Now, they may live something different than what you live. They may believe something different than you believe. I'm not saying you're going to change what you believe in Christ for them. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you're relating to them enough that you hear what they say, you hear where they're coming from, and you're able to connect. Number 6, ask the hard questions of yourself. Here's what I mean by that. You've got to ask yourself, am I really being a good neighbor? Lord, is this relationship, am I in it just for what I can get from me? That's a tough question. Am I being Christ-like in this relationship? Am I showing them the love of Jesus when I'm relating to them? Or am I just using them in my relationship? Those are some tough questions. You know what? Sometimes I've had to answer those questions in myself, and the one I ask myself all the time is, am I really trying to give something in this relationship, or am I just using someone? Because all of us are capable of doing that. God doesn't want us to use people. We're supposed to use things and love people. And that's a way, by asking those tough questions, we can truly find out what we're doing. Now here's the last thing, number 7. Refuse to be judgmental. Refuse to be judgmental. If we truly want to be like Jesus, we've got to quit being judgmental. Jesus hung out with people that nobody else wanted to hang out with. He hung out with prostitutes. He hung out with publicans that were sinners, open sinners. He hung out with tax collectors. He hung out with people that everybody said, there's no way I would hang out with them. The good kids, quote, didn't hang out with them. Listen, don't be judgmental toward anybody. Love and accept them for where they're at. You don't have to agree with their lifestyle. You don't have to agree with where they're living. You don't have to agree with the way they do things. But you know what? You can love them. And I'm going to just tell you what my daddy told me. He said, son, the only way we're going to reach people is truly love them from our heart. If you'll just show them love and you'll continue to let them know that you're there for them, it will change their life. So guys, let me just sum this up. There's so many incredible ways that we have to be able to truly love our neighbor. Caring for them, taking care of them, really seeing who they are and praying for them, lifting them up. Asking ourselves the tough questions and not being judgmental. There's so many different ways. But I want to ask you to do this. Here's my challenge for the week. I want you to pick out at least one person you would say is your neighbor. Somebody that you are in contact with. And I want you to reach out to them. And I want you to figure out a way to show them God's love this week. Can I pray for you now? Because I want to encourage you. Keep being the hands and feet of Jesus during this time. Let people know. Reach out and touch some of those people through the internet, through an email, through a text. Just a comforting word, an encouraging word, something that builds them up. You can do that. Let me pray for you now. Father, right now I pray for everyone, every person that's watching this right now. And I pray, Lord, that we would truly learn to love our neighbor as ourselves. A lot of times we struggle with our own love for ourselves. But Father, there's other times that we love ourselves maybe too much. Lord, let us learn to love like you love. Sacrificially, giving, understanding, relating to one another, and just being there so that no matter what someone's going through, they can be touched with your heart coming through our heart. Your love coming through the words we say, the things we do. And I pray you would help each one of us to truly live out that love this week. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey guys, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I hope you'll be my neighbor and you'll be a good neighbor and love others this week too.
Well, neighbor, I'm so glad you joined us today, and I hope you'll come back real soon and see us. How about next week about this time? I'll see you then.